Hello friends, this is Raman from tradingwithvenus.com. Today I thought I would share a trade that we took in the trade room this morning in the London session. It's been a while since I've done the trade room trades, so I thought I will bring another one to you. So the purpose of looking at the trade that we have taken in a trade room is just to sort of understand what I'm looking at when I am looking to get into this trade, and how do I manage the trade, and how you can do that for yourself. Before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. So this is the pound yen short that we took this morning. This is a pound yen 5-minute chart. So when I was looking at this trade, I was looking at pound yen. Our bias was actually to the upside on this one. However, there was an opportunity to take a short in this, and this is what we ended up doing. So when I looked at this chart, this is sort of where we were. Price went and tested this previous high here and then dropped from here. So here we have an evening star trade setup, a small evening star trade setup, and price went into the same level once again and dropped off of that. So it wasn't able to break this previous high. And this is a nice bearish engulfing candle, very, very strong candle that suggests that price is likely to move lower. So I was watching this and price started to come lower. So by the time we actually entered the trade, it was right over here. So this was our entry for the trade here. Stop went above the previous high. We want to make sure there is enough room for the trade to breathe. And then we kind of sat in the trade for a while. And for a while, price was just going sideways. It didn't really do much. It went up a little bit, but then for the most part, kind of went sideways, then started to drop. So it took a while for this trade to play out, about a couple of hours for this to hit the profit target here. This is where patience is important. So we don't want to get out of the trade just because the trade is sort of working itself out. So sat through this, and then finally price started to drop, and it dropped pretty rapidly here. My exit was actually at the bottom here, so just above here. So this is where my exit was. However, while the price was dropping pretty rapidly here, I saw this little pullback, and this is where market volatility had picked up. So this move down was pretty volatile. The reason you want to be careful with this one is because price can pull back pretty rapidly as well. So once you see a big drop like this, that is fairly quick, price can pull back quite rapidly. So as a result of that, once the price was pulling back off of here, I exited the trade. So whereas overall my target was about 60 pips, but in reality, I only got 45 pips. And another thing I did was, once we got 20 pips in the trade, one thing I really like to do is move my stop to break even +2. So that way we remove all the risk from the trade, because sometimes what can happen is price could give you a drop in your direction, let's say 20, 25 pips, even 30 pips sometimes, and then just pull back and go in the completely opposite direction. So that's why it's very important from trade management perspective that we bring our stops closer as soon as price moves in our direction. So my general rule of thumb is, once I get 20 pips, I bring my stop to break even, and once I get another 20 pips, I lock my 20 pips and I move my stop to break even +20. So that's just personally my style of managing the trades. And this is more from day trading perspective. For longer term trades, you can use the candlesticks to bring your stop lower. So you can just trail your stop behind the candlesticks. So those are a few different ways of managing the trade. But overall, here we got 45 pips in the trade. So just to recap, the reason I took the trade was because of this double top, and price had given us this reversal signal here. When we came to our workstations, we saw this engulfing candlestick and price started to move lower. So enter the trade here, and my target was at the very bottom here. However, I pulled out because price started pulling back, and I was just a couple of pips away from my target and it started pulling back. So it was better to just take the pips that were available, in this case 45 pips, and eventually it did go and hit the target and then pull back. So it's better to just keep the profit that you have. So we decided to take 45 pips in the trade. So our profit was 45 pips, or if you're trading a standard lot, that would be $450. If you'd like some more information about the trade room, I run the trade room every Tuesday to Thursday. I generally trade the London session these days. However, the plan is to add some longer term trades in there as well as we go on. So what you get when you join the trade room is we do a weekly market review every Sunday, which everybody has access to. But besides that, what trade room members get is the private Skype group that I use for sharing my trade ideas and analysis. So this is where I put in my entry, my take profit and stop loss targets. And as I manage the trade, I also put those comments in there as well. Every night we do a daily market analysis call at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's something you can join. That's a live call. So we look at the chart and we figure out where our market direction is for the next day, so we can take trades off of that. And when I send out my trade setups, I usually include profit target and stop loss levels as well, not just the entries. So you know exactly what I'm looking at. Every Friday we do a members only webinar, which is an educational webinar, and that's held at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. All these things are recorded. So if you needed to go and look at any of these videos, if you're not able to make it live, you can still look at the webinars and the daily market analysis calls after. As a bonus, you also get my pivot point indicator. Pivot points is one of the few indicators I really love using. So you will get the indicator plus the instruction videos on how to use it and how to install the indicator as well. So the cost of this is $97 per month. If you would like to join me, you can go visit tradingwithvenus.com/trading-signals to join me in the trade room. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.